Welcome back to Cord Cutting today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today, we got the FCC giving permission for AT&T to kill off its DSL and traditional copper home phone service. We'll tell you what's happening there. Also, the new incoming FCC chair is sending a warning letter to Disney about its locals. We'll tell you what they're telling Disney, what that means about the future of television. And NFL Red Zone may look different in the future. These stories and a whole lot more coming up in a quick second. First, hey, I'm trying out something new here, preparing for some upcoming things to happen to test out a new way to do these videos. I want your feedback to hear from you what you think of these. So with that said, let's dive into it. First, though, if you want to learn more about any of these stories, I'll put a link to it in the show notes and in the first pinned comment. You can find them there on cordcuttersnews.com. Read the story for yourself and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. Also, if you've been around a while and you like these videos, but you're not subscribed yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button or hitting that thumbs up. Doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, so YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow and hopefully helping you break free from the high cost of television and still watch the shows you enjoy. With that said, let's dive into these stories and take a look at them. The FCC has given permission to AT&T to kill off its copper home phone and DSL. Now, AT&T's been doing this slowly, and they're not the only ones for some time. And now with this, they're actually getting FCC approval to replace home phone through copper with wireless phone service. So you'll be able to go and in your area, if they don't have fiber for you, AT&T will now be able to give you a 5G home phone basically system. It's basically a wireless phone that connects to your home one on it. Now, pretty typical here, you see this all the time with different companies out there that offer 5G home internet, 5G home phone, and others. And now we're seeing this become more and more common with the FCC's approval. This means DSL is basically dead. AT&T is an AT&T Air that allows them to offer high-speed internet through their 5G network in areas where fiber is not there. Now, AT&T has said that millions of people will be getting fiber, but millions more will not be getting their copper lines replaced by fiber. And instead, the AT&T has decided to replace it with services like 5G home internet. Now, what that means for cord cutters is, hey, on one side, honestly, faster internet. DSL is so bad that this is even going to be faster than that. We'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. On the other side, though, it is loss of one wired option. DSL, while far from perfect, is a wired option for many people out there that they're now losing. We'll have to keep a very close eye on this and see how it plays out, but the FCC has given them the green light. Now, Comcast is still fighting it, but most states are not. Or excuse me, not Comcast. California is fighting this. Both start with a C. But most states are not, and that probably means we're going to see many DSL networks shut down, with AT&T saying by 2029 they hope to have most, if not all, of their copper lines out of service and transitioned either into 5G or fiber. All right, next story up. Speaking of FCC, the new FCC chair, soon-to-be chairman, is sending a letter to Disney to warn them about their negotiations with ABC locals and how he's going to be watching that very closely. Now, I saw a question earlier about how can the upcoming FCC chairman do this? Well, he's already a member of the FCC, so he's doing this in his capacity already on the FCC and soon to be FCC chair. Now, with this, ABC is renegotiating their contract with ABC locals, and CNN acquired a copy of a letter that Disney received from the new upcoming Chairman Carr. Now, in this, he says it's understanding that ABC is attempting to extend onerous financial and operational concessions from local broadcast TV stations under the threat of terminating long-held affiliates, which could result in blackouts and harm to local consumers of broadcast news and content. So basically what's happening here is Disney's creating a new contract. This happens every so many years with its local TV stations. And a lot of talk has been coming that Disney's putting a lot of, let's just say, new rules in place. A lot of this, I believe, has to do with Disney's future envisions of sports streaming. We know they're in part of trying to launch that venue sports service that'll give local ABC and Fox local stations included along with other sports content. Sounds like they may also be trying to create an ESPN only bundle that may include some ABC content, or even bundling some of this into Disney Plus. Now, some TV station owners are obviously unhappy about some of these terms, and they are fighting back against it, and are probably complaining to the FCC. It'd be very interesting to see how this plays out. Will the new FCC chair be much more on the side of local TV stations, or more on the side of the big national brand? And that's a tough battle because both have competing interests that sometimes don't always align with each other. It'll be interesting to see how this comes together. I know there's been a lot of talk about Trump's win over ABC News, $15 million payout from ABC to the Trump campaign for some of the things that were said during the election. I'm not sure that has so much to do with it. I think this is much more limited to the fact that how people get TV is changing, and ABC is trying to force local TV stations to change with it. And some local TV stations aren't necessarily happy with it. We'll keep a close eye on this, but leave me a comment. Let me know. Do you think that ABC should be forcing people to become more, or local stations to become more compliant with streaming? Or do you think Disney needs to get their hands off of the local stations and keep the current deals as they are now? Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. All right. Are you a fan of NFL Red Zone? Well, recently, some people were very unhappy with NFL Red Zone because it included commercials. Yes, NFL Red Zone had some local commercials played in it, which removes the long-standing, commercial-free NFL football tagline that they had. Now, recently, that was like a one-time test, but reports are coming out from Front Row Sports and others that, hey, NFL Network is looking at maybe putting commercials into NFL Red Zone as it tries to stay afloat. Interestingly, we were just talking about Disney. There was talk not that long ago that Disney may strike a deal with the NFL to bring NFL Network and NFL Red Zone underneath ESPN in exchange for some part ownership into the NFL. That so far has not happened. But it seems like the NFL is struggling to figure out how to make the NFL Red Zone profitable. Now, you have seen ads on it, banner ads like you see on websites and mentions of different services and promotional offerings inside the stream. But you haven't really seen these traditional commercials, full screen takeovers, or most of the screen takeovers that we're starting to see. It seems like the NFL is kind of testing the waters to see what happens there. Could be a big change as they try to figure out a way to keep the NFL profitable as fewer people pay for it. For NFL Red Zone, it struggles to find a way to make it profitable. All right, next up, speaking of fewer people watching, kid TV networks are seeing a continued decline in viewership with this. Look at this. These are prime time numbers. Nickelodeon at just 124,000 viewers in 2024. Disney XD at the other end at 18,000. Just 18,000 people watching it. Most YouTubers can do better than that in a primetime hour, most major ones. Universal Kids at 20, Teen Nick at 23,000. Disney Junior, I'm actually kind of surprised how well this is doing, 83,000. With this being primetime, maybe I thought it would be less. Now, you're probably noticing Cartoon Network is not listed here. That's because now they've switched over to Adult Swim in primetime almost exclusively. And because of that, you're seeing it down here separated. Adult Swim averaged 211,000 viewers, significantly better than a lot of the kids' networks. Nick at Night came in just behind that, 206,000 viewers. Still not great numbers, but significantly better numbers than what we've seen from kids' networks. We've said this over and over. Kids are increasingly getting their programs from other sources, YouTube, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Max, and other services to watch kids' content. I would keep a close eye on these kids' networks here, folks. I fully expect them to be some of the ones most likely to shut down in 2025 and thereafter, or at least be severely rebranded. We're already seeing networks try to push content on here like sports to try to hook kids early into sports so they become sports fans, because sports are one of the things that people will still aggressively watch every day. Leave me a comment. Does any of these numbers surprise you? Did you expect them higher or lower? Let me know. Hey, if you were a fan of the NFL, you probably watched Netflix on Christmas Day. If you watched other recent live events on Netflix, you know they struggled mightily with the Tyson fight, for example, the reunion show for the reality. Even failed to broadcast. They had to pre-record it and put it up live the next day. It completely failed to work. Well, it seems like Netflix has done a lot to improve their live stream since the Tyson fight. And the NFL games on Christmas Day on Netflix went off mostly without a hitch. Now, there were some UI complaints. I saw several people say they struggled. If you were watching the game and you left, Netflix often was trying to put you back where you left instead of putting you back to the live moment in the game. There wasn't an easy way to jump forward without manually fast forwarding. But overall, the quality seemed to be good and the production seemed to work really well. That was a huge improvement over some of their other ones and a big win for Netflix, who's been looking at sports as a way to diversify its business and attract new viewers. Well, in order to do that, it needs to convince companies to give them more sports rights. For now, that seems to be paying off as this worked very well, maybe making other potential sports partners who are monitoring this very closely willing to work with them in the future. Did you watch the NFL? Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. I was impressed, honestly. I thought it went very well. All right. If you're a DirecTV customer, you may want to check the mail. You may have gotten one of those prepaid debit credit cards, whatever you want to call it, for $50. One person said they got more than $50. But this is for DirecTV Stream, and DirecTV via Internet customers. Now, the rewards program is very limited, but you can earn points. And it seems like customers who've been with DirecTV for a long time and earned a lot of points have been getting bonus $50 gift cards in what appears to be an attempt to entice people to remain customers of DirecTV. So if you're one of the people who got one of these and are unsure, I would recommend you contact DirecTV for clarification, but these do seem to be real. We have been able to confirm that, yes, DirecTV is sending out prepaid credit cards of $50 on average to select customers for this. Unfortunately, you can't request it. You have to be a member of the service and a member of their new rewards program and earned enough points for them to justify sending you the bonus with it. Keep an eye on it, but cool deal there. If you're a DirecTV customer, $50 is not a bad little bonus gift with it. All right, more Nickelodeon content is vanishing from Paramount Plus. This comes as Paramount Plus is cutting back the amount of content, and a lot of classic shows like My Life as a Teenage Robot, Doug, and other classic programs have been removed. Here's the full list. Game Shakers, Wonderful Pets, Welcome to the Wayne. That's one I don't know. The Penguins of Madagascar, all left along with other programs from Paramount Plus. Now, why is this happening? In short, it's a cost reduction. That yes, they own it, but they still have to pay residuals to the people who worked on these programs. And by rotating out content off their service, they reduce how much residuals they have to pay, freeing up revenue for potential other partners on it. Check it out over at corecarsnews.com. You can see the full list here, but more details at corecarsnews.com on that. Look for content rotation become more and more common. We're seeing services be more willing to take content off and put it on in other places. And lastly, Fubo is losing more channels. Televisa Univision, I apologize, I'm butchering that, pulled multiple networks off of Fubo after Fubo says they demanded a 25% price hike on their channels. Now, this left many people to think that they're demanding content or demanding more than the channels are worth, and Fubo's pulling it. This shows a growing list of channels that Fubo has dropped, though I can kind of see why. Fubo seems to be definitely focusing more and more on sports. Well, this does offer some sports. It's more on the Spanish side, and maybe Fubo may be making a calculated decision to see if this is worth it or not. Of course, the channel owners think this is awful that Fubo is doing it, that they're requesting what they consider to be a reasonable price hike for their content. We'll keep a close eye on this, but more channels leaving Fubo. It'll be interesting to see. They got some big deals in the next few years coming up. They got the ongoing lawsuit against Disney, Fox, and Warner Bros. Discovery. How does that play out in 2025? And how do their contract renewals play out? We'll have a big factor in the future of Fubo. Well, that's it for today. Leave me a comment. Let me switch here. I got to get used to doing this. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this new user interface here, where we display it this way. I'm testing out some stuff, doing it in my office just to test it out before we rip apart the review lab to try to maybe make some changes to make this possible down there. I'd love to hear from you and what you think of this, what you don't like about it. Leave me a comment. Let me know. That's it for today. Have a great day. Take care. Be safe. I'll talk to you all again real soon.